I was 21 when I was running.
21-year-old councilwoman.
Yeah. I was just like, listen, I'm going to dedicate myself to the town. So going into law school would be really hard at that time. So I wanted to dedicate myself to the service.
What was your inspiration? And like, what would you say is something that you would be able to like give away as like advice for somebody who may be feeling stuck?
Learn what makes you happy. What I love to do is to communicate with people and to help people.
A business owner, they're looking for support, just how a homeowner is looking for support.
We were given the opportunity to show them what we're made of, so we're excited to get out there.
All right, guys, welcome back to Breaking Barriers. I'm very excited today to announce we got a badass chick in the building. We got our girl Jade Puia.
Yes.
What's up, Jade?
How are
We
you?
got Chris in the building.
Hey.
Thanks
Also.
for having me.
Absolutely,
Thanks for
absolutely.
coming in.
Yes, of course.
And wait, so we met you at Anthony's Battles event? Is that how we met?
Yeah, the Whiteout party.
The Whiteout party, okay.
Where I wear all black.
Right. Did you wear that day?
No,
Yeah.
she was the only person that stuck out like a sore thumb. Literally showed up, didn't know it was a Whiteout
I
party.
love it.
I
love it,
didn't
love it.
read the flyer correctly.
No, listen. So
I
you
thought I
came
was in the
out
wrong
and
room.
you stood out right away.
Yeah, she
Love
walked in and thought she was in the wrong room.
Yeah, I was like, oh no, I'm here for the networking event. She goes, this is the networking event. I was like,
This don't work.
right.
Listen, you know what? Like at those events, though, it's so funny. Like you, like being in that situation, most people could have been like, yo, this is like, fuck, I don't want people to think I wasn't like whatever. But I think like a lot more people probably recognize your logo and your brand because like you were wearing it. And like, it's totally acceptable to be like, hey, I just came from work. I can't wear all white to work.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like the stuff that I'm doing. But I think at the end of the day, so how did you meet Ant?
I didn't meet him until that day. So I saw his flyer on Instagram actually. It was just like in my sponsored.
Yeah.
I saw that a plumber that I want to connect with was one of the sponsors. So I said, this is a perfect opportunity to like be in the same room
Out
as
there
this
hunting.
gentleman.
All right.
Yeah. And I bought the ticket and I showed up and I met them. I did what I had to do.
Boom. Hey.
And yeah. And I also met I met you guys. I met
Yeah.
Anthony. So now we're involved in like his networking group. So
Yeah. It worked out. It was a good event. Ant puts on good events.
yeah, it was a fun time.
He's good at like curating a room full of people
Absolutely.
that like are hungry and you know all that good stuff. So I think like ultimately it was great to meet you at that event, obviously.
Yes.
And so talk about your story. So how did you get involved in in this like restoration and mold?
Yeah, I was a college graduate when I was looking to go to law school, and I won my election in my town. So I was running for council, and I actually won. And in order to
How old were you?
I was 21 when I was running.
21-year-old councilwoman.
Yeah.
So was having her first beer.
Yeah, having my first beer and
First
running the
legal
town.
beer. Yeah.
I won, and when I wanted to go to law school, I wanted to go to Nashville because I also love to sing.
Okay.
Nashville's my favorite city, so I wanted to go to Vanderbilt for law school. And when I won, you have to be a resident of your community in order to serve. So I wasn't able to go out of state for school.
Damn.
And I was just like, listen, I'm going to dedicate myself to the town. So going into law school would be really hard at that time. So I wanted to dedicate myself to the service. So I did that, and I was looking for a job. I was on ZipRecruiter. I applied to like 40 places, and nobody would give me a shot because my resume literally just said councilwoman and nanny. I was a nanny.
Yeah.
So no one wanted to give me a sales
Like,
position.
damn, that's a big jump.
Right.
Yeah.
They were like, who is this girl?
What'd you
Damn.
do in between?
She was changing a diaper.
Yeah.
Right to office.
Changing
Damn.
laws.
Changing
Right.
laws to change diapers. I love it. That's pretty badass, honestly.
Yeah, so Jeff, actually my business partner now, but he was my boss, and I interviewed with him. He knew my mentor that was going to be my mentor, my uncle Jim, who owns Cezeo Law, and he passed away 2 years ago, so rest in peace to him.
R.I.P.
But he was going to be my mentor. He came from the same town as Jeff, so Jeff was like, I can't believe like this girl in a red blazer shows up. He was like, you're a nanny and you're a councilwoman. He was like, but I love your like charisma. And like, I guess I presented myself well to him. So he gave me the shot, and I killed it for them. And I come from Manville, New Jersey. So we flood a lot, and there's a lot of water damage in my town. So I'm used to, I was used to that environment. But I wasn't used to the cleaning of it, because when we flood in Manville, the Amish come around and the Christians come around and they help people clear out our basements. Yeah, it's a complete, like, we're such a good community in Manville.
Where is
and
Manville?
Manville's in Somerset County. It's by
North
Bridgewater, Hillsborough.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
northwest of here, I would say.
Just had to get that ready for later.
Yeah, so once I started with Jeff, like we killed it, and he's a great mentor to me in this industry. So we just took off.
When did you start working with him?
January of 2024. So yeah, less than 3 years ago.
One of the things that like I think people that are listening in could be super inspired from, right? So like I love your story about how like, you know, you were going to law school and then obviously doing a bunch of different things, but like I love that you were a nanny and then, you know, parlayed that into office, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously parlayed that into, you know, this new career and then business ownership. What was your inspiration? And like, what would you say, like, is something that you would be able to like give away as like advice for somebody who may be feeling stuck or might be in a position where like they're maybe doing something like whether it's a nannying or like doing like, you know, working at like a restaurant, like they're not happy. Like what advice would you give them that you had in that moment of being like, hey, like, I don't want to just be a nanny, like, and then office, I don't want to just do these things. Like, you know, what advice would you give based on like your experience?
The advice I would give is to just really take time to like learn yourself and learn what makes you happy. And like just genuinely like what I love to do is to communicate with people and to help people, and that fulfills me. So even in like the public servant role of being a councilwoman, it's a public service at the end of the day, and sometimes it's a very thankless one. You know, you could do so many great
All the
things,
time.
but
Office,
Yeah.
Listen, anybody who's in office, it's always a thankless job.
right.
It's like being a parent.
Yeah, so always learning what makes you happy. And like when I started with Kraus, like although it was long days, long hours, we're 24/7 emergency service, like I knew that person on the phone needed my help, and that's what motivated me, and that's what made me like put a fire under my butt pretty much.
Totally.
Of
Love
like
that.
to run around with my hair on fire, learn as much as I can in a small amount of time, and just tackle it and just learn. And it inspired me to like hear, thank you so much, like you guys like took the weight off my shoulders. That was my favorite part. So going back to your question, just really learning what makes you happy and what makes you motivated, and like finding that career and finding that passion, whether it's in entrepreneurship or if it's like working for somebody that has the ability to give you that and provide you that. So that's what this job did for me.
I resonate with
it.
that so much. That's literally why I graduated college thinking I was going into hotels, and very quickly learned that that's not what I wanted to do, because I was just standing behind a desk and I was a phone receptionist at that point. I thought I wanted to go into hospitality because of that connective piece of hospitable services industries. And I learned quickly that that desk job it doesn't fulfill that cup. It doesn't fill that for me. And that's how I transitioned property management, then into real estate. Now in marketing, same situation, like a business owner, they're looking for support, just how a homeowner is looking for support. I can't get this mold. I can't remediate or remove this water from my basement. I need help.
Yeah.
Same way a business owner can't achieve certain things because their hands are tied, or they're too spread on their bandwidth to the point where let me come in and help. So I completely understand. I think that's part of why we connected originally at that party is we have the same mental drive of what keeps us moving forward.
Yeah, it's literally sharing my knowledge and just helping people. At the end of the day, it makes me just feel so good that like I have the ability to do such things for people that seem hopeless in that moment. Like even if it's not a devastating fire and it's just a small leak, they still never experienced it. It ruins some of their belongings. It's a sudden expense for them that they might not be able to, you know, pay for at that moment. So like being able to help those people in that situation with like the insurance claim, dealing with that, and just really full circle, one-stop shop, like taking care of it. Yeah. It's what we do.
It's cool too, because as the person helping, you can put yourself in their shoes and you would want someone to do what you're doing for them.
Exactly.
If you were in that situation. Just how like when my wife's mom, so I don't know if you knew this, Megan's mom's washer and dryer, the issue leaked, overflowed, flooded the whole laundry room, everything. Jade and her team went over, took a inspection, did everything for her, got her set up with a quote with insurance and everything.
Yeah.
But like, I know my mother-in-law, and if you saw a drop of water on the floor, she'd be panicking kind of thing. So I can only imagine the fear and everything that was going through her mind. She's awesome, but I understand like where she would see that and be like this is the end of the world. And then to have a professional come in and be like, it's not. here's the peace of mind. This is what happens. And it really
we're just taking up some floor and going downstairs and ripping down some sheetrock.
leveling our head.
My question for you, though, is what do you think that most people don't know about living with mold in their houses? Like, what did you learn before knowing that? Because I think there's a lot that people are affected by. I mean, I have heard things like allergies and like you could have all these different like symptoms and reactions to it, not knowing that you have it in your house.
Right.
What's like the biggest thing that you saw that you think the world needs to know about?
I do know now that mold can actually become, like, if you are really allergic to it, it could go into your bloodstream. And that's something that is really hard to reverse. So knowing that mold can be hidden and you don't even see it, it's behind your walls. Your house can look perfect. It could be inside your duct system.
Right.
It could be under your crawl space. There's a lot of crawl spaces down here that it's completely hidden. No one's really going and crawling on their hands and knees in their dirt crawl space every day to take a look at that. And if you have your HVAC system located in your crawl space, it could contaminate that system and run it through your house, and it could be affecting your family. A lot of the times when we go into homes where we don't see the mold, but they got like a mold test done, I always get a hygienist out there first to test all of the areas, and they give us an accurate scope of work. And a lot of the times these customers are like, I've been sick for years. Like, I've had a constant drip, constant cough, and right when we remediate and we take care of the problem, their sickness just goes away. Yeah.
That's awesome.
As you asked that question, I thought about that, and like the hidden places, yes, it makes sense behind the walls and everything, but I imagine a lot of people don't think about their ductwork and actually like where the air that is moving throughout their house is being pushed because
it's
hot,
airborne.
cold, this, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you disturb it, a lot of people think that you can put bleach on it, but what I've learned is that if you have mold spores piled up on, say, a sheetrock wall, you can take a bleached rag and wipe it. It will kill the spores that are open and on the wall, but you can leave a ring of mold that grows in the future because it's cut with water. So it actually assists it. So if you're ever going to do a home remedy to clean your mold, you shouldn't use bleach.
Yeah.
Don't use Clorox.
Because it's cut with water.
This is
That
not
makes
sponsored by
sense.
Clorox.
Or
Bleach
any
is good for many
bleach company
things, but
for
not,
that
Or
not
Polar
cleaning
Seltzer.
mold.
We'll be calling you Polar.
But I think at the end of the day, there's a lot to learn there, and like we live in a very healthy society right now where people are like super conscious about like what they're putting in their bodies, and like people are drinking less, and like they're more focused on like longevity and like the right environment to like make you the I guess have the peak performance you could have as a human. And so I think one of the interesting things outside of just like mold and those types of stuff, it's like it's crazy to think about how, like, for instance, our COO Chris, his sister had a house in Point Beach. And they didn't know, but her young son was constantly sick. And like, what the fuck? Like, something's wrong with him, like whatever. But it turned out that the house was an older home. And that there was lead painting. There was lead paint on the floors, and nobody knew. As a kid, what do you do? Like, you're on the floor 24/7.
Right.
And so he figured out that like it was the lead. He had lead poisoning.
Yep.
Because he's crawling around on lead painted floors all the time.
Yeah.
Asbestos is another huge thing as well. That was made in so many different things.
Yeah. So like, there's so many things like
siding, everything.
Yeah.
Asbestos is.
And if you can dive in, so what kind of tool you got there? What's that handy dandy tool, by the way?
This is my Fleur MR265.
I'm like, what is that thing?
It is it's a moisture meter, and it's also a thermal camera. So if I turn it on, I kind of like refer to it as like my Ghostbuster camera.
Oh, that's cool.
Because it's thermal imaging at the end of the day. I could take photos. I can upload it to my phone. It just helps me pretty much once it loads. It detects moisture. So this screen is obviously warm, so it's yellow. But if there was, say, a stain in the ceiling, and it was
You're
wet.
going to show us some secrets that we don't know about the office right now?
Yeah, right. Let me do an inspection.
Yeah, right, real quick.
So this tests humidity. We have other ones that have it could test
prongs
like
on them.
I have them in the car, but you can hook up the prongs on it, so you could go into different building material as well to test the moisture levels there.
Those kinds of things.
Not only for our knowledge of like what we need to do as far as remediation goes and mitigation, the insurance needs to prove that things were wet before we rip it out.
That makes sense.
And there's like different categories of water. It's going to be like category 1, 2, and 3. Category 1 is clean water. So there's different protocol to remediate clean water versus sewage water that's coming, straight from your sewer system.
Got it.
this detects it all. It's all in the same, but it doesn't tell me what category the water is.
That's up
We
to
know
you.
that based off of what the plumber tells us is leaking, of course. But categories of water can change based off of how long you leave it. If you leave
Okay.
clean water saturated in sheetrock for over 72 hours, we
That's
treat it as Cat 3.
dirty water. Yeah.
Dirty water. Yep.
Interesting. Okay. So with those tools, I mean, I'm assuming you bring that with you to every single job.
Every job.
Is there any other tools that you use aside from that are like?
Yeah, I use a pro meter. FLIR is great, but I use a pro meter because it like dings. It like tells me when things are like and it uses a percentage. This does too, but only like in the corner or if I turn it into a different mode.
Okay.
This is really for like higher ceilings where I'm just trying to get a
The
picture
laser,
of,
that makes sense.
yeah, the laser and like the imaging of like how far the water traveled instead of like using the pro meter. I physically need to be on the spot.
Touching the,
So if it's 13 feet up in the air, I'm
not
my
grabbing a
technicians
ladder or
have the
anything.
ladders.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm using this to detect how far it travels so I can scope the job out properly.
That's really cool. So you're saying, so like if it is on a higher ceiling, something far up above 13 feet, call it, it's a camera, so you can literally see the entire span of everything. Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. I was on an inspection actually earlier today, and there was potential water coming in through a open flashing on the roof, and he had something similar to that. I'm imagining it's the tool that you were mentioning where you have to touch things because it had just big numbers across it, and he touched something that's either green, white,
showing
or red.
them how wet it is.
Yeah. Very. I need to connect you with him actually. With
yeah,
Mike.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he was the guy who was supposed to come in for the collection.
Okay, great. Yeah, he's an inspector.
Yeah, he's an inspector. He's out of the Atlantic Highlands. You mostly target plumbers as your referral partners, correct?
Yeah, I would say 90% of our business does come from plumbers. The other 10% is made up of real estate agents, home inspectors, and just Google leads.
Okay.
Or insurance agents, like private insurance agents that, trust us with their clients.
On the back end.
We're not on any kind of preferred vendor list for insurance because our whole thing is that we work for the customer and not for the insurance company. And that's why our business is pretty much just word of mouth, boots on the ground marketing.
Makes sense. So
getting out there.
With that angle, I'm imagining that your clientele prefer to use your service, especially because they know that you're in their pocket, not the insurance agencies where it's just trying to get another nickel and a dime squirreled out of whatever the cost might be for the insurance agency. Like they know that you're actually on their team, if you will.
Right.
Because in those situations, I mean, as a homeowner, it can feel daunting, especially with the insurance company calling you. They're wanting to get nickel and dime you for every little thing to make it
sometimes
as
adjusters
minimal as
call
possible.
and before they even look at the property, they are immediately going to the point of how long has this been leaking? Has this been long term? Have you left this on for more than 14 days? And
looking
it's
to
like
make
this
you
happened.
liable.
Yeah, looking to make because after 14, typically a 14-day grace period is what the insurance company gives to notify your insurance carrier that a problem is occurring. If it goes over that, they consider it neglect.
Interesting. And then they have grounds to not pay out fully.
Oh,
this,
yeah.
that, the other.
Yes. I've had claims be denied for homeowners if they said the date of loss was 15 days ago. They're like, sorry, you waited too long. We're not paying for this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Most, pretty much every insurance agency, I imagine, acts like that.
Yeah, most. I have a
Who
list.
Who are your go-tos? Who, if I need new insurance because I'm shopping around, who should I call?
I love NJM, New Jersey
NJM?
Manufacturers. Yep, they are a great company. They typically come with a $25,000 mold endorsement on their policy already written in. It doesn't have to be like paid extra for. I believe because all of them have it 25,000.
Okay.
They're responsive. Their adjusters get assigned the same day. They're knowledgeable. They're not out to get the customer. They want to pay their claims. They don't look to deny it. If I were to stay away from any company, it would be State Farm.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I appreciate that
State
insight.
Farm,
I hope you guys all appreciate that as well. My parents had NJM
Nothing against
growing
State
up.
Farm, but man,
They're
your
tough.
adjusters are tough sometimes. Yeah.
They're very, very scrutinizing on what they'll pay out for.
Yeah, and like for example, for slab homes, and if we need
That's my house.
if a plumber needs access to dig up a copper line or a sewage line in the slab, if the line is 12 inches or below the slab, they don't cover it. So I say, why do you even cover slab homes then?
Because
it should be illegal for you to cover that person if you're not going to cover a potential loss.
Because
like that.
exactly every slab home is going to have that
problem happen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's just it's a loophole. It's we
loophole.
service this and pay us extra, and then we're not going to do the work for you.
Yeah, they won't cover the access creation or the backfill or anything. The plumbing is typically never covered under the insurance, the plumbing bill itself, but that's usually the smallest part of the job when it comes to the mitigation and then the reconstruction. That's what they cover.
So so for example, if there was a huge leak, a basement or whatever, and pool of water, that kind of thing sitting, you just said the plumber is the least expensive of all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Run us through what cost, yeah, but just kind of process. Like, okay, I wake up, there's water gushing in through it's a flood because there's rain, and I have a window and it's leaking, and now it's literally like a waterfall falling into my basement, and I wake up and I see that.
Typically not covered.
Not
So
covered.
if you're going to give me a groundwater situation, that's typically not covered under
Okay.
insurance because of that's maintenance at the end of the day for like sealing your property, making sure
Okay.
it's waterproof properly. But if it's like flashing, like
Okay.
you just experienced
With the roof.
yeah. It would have to be proved that it was like a sudden and accidental flashing, not just the roof is 35 years old and it's shot.
Got it.
So it needs to be like a few shingles that are lifting, and the roofer needs to prove that happened because of a windstorm, for
Or
example.
a tree fell and made
Correct.
this issue or whatever.
And when it comes to like jobs like that, where it's like not just a water heater failed last night, we know that's totally covered under any insurance policy. But if it's something that we're a little iffy about, we'll never start a job until we talk to the adjuster, get the approval, let him look through the policy, send him photos. Because at the end of the day, I don't want to do a $10,000 job and promise that there was coverage, and then the
Look
insurance
at the
comes
homeowner
back.
and be like,
yeah.
hey.
And the insurance comes back and says it's denied, and then I have a contract that they should pay me, you
Yeah.
know, so I would never do that to somebody. So there's, you know, and even with the insurance companies, they have like preferred vendors on their list, like a Surf or
Of course.
PureClean, those kind of guys. They will go out there and do the work, but it is in the contract that if it's
If
not,
the insurance doesn't cover it, you're paying.
just because we sent them doesn't mean we're paying that bill if it's not covered.
Wow.
So
that's
they make them
another
aware
benefit.
of that, though. They make them aware of that, but yeah.
But that's another benefit for you
Yeah.
guys in competition, essentially, because then you're even more so showing that client that, like, hey,
We care about you.
We're
and
here for
this is
you.
not just like a money grab
Exactly.
at the end of the day. Like,
and we're gonna call and make sure all of our ducks are in a row before I
Correct.
actually start doing
yeah.
anything.
And I go out to jobs all the time that are super small and something that somebody can handle easily if I just give them the direction. And I do that all the time because it's not a money grab. It's helping people. So I would
Correct.
feel bad charging a 90-year-old woman to clean her grout that has mold on it. You know, I would tell her, do you have a son? Let me call him. I go the extra mile
get
for
the
my
bucket
people.
out,
and all of
get
my
on your
project
hands and knees,
managers
grab some
and
rubber
my
gloves.
partners do the same. Like,
Good.
yeah, we do that a
That-
lot.
that
And at the end of the day, she'll tell her friends about us.
Correct.
She'll, you know what I mean? She'll,
Correct.
if something bigger happens at her home, she knows that she could call the honest person.
Same experience
that's not,
with Judy. That
Right.
with my mother-in-law. Like the second you guys came and did everything, like she was on the phone with me every other day. Hey, they were here. They just did this. Hey, they were here. They just like the personality. I think that's part of like getting back to what John originally asked in the beginning of like how you got into this. You is what brought you into being the position you're in, because anybody can own a business. Anybody can try and step into a new industry, but in a way you almost were invited because of your personality.
Correct. Yeah.
And
I was given the chance to show them who I am.
exactly.
Yeah.
And
Forever grateful for that.
Jeff saw that in you.
Yeah.
I'm assuming. So explain to me that. How did you get connected with Jeff, and like how did that then grow into you becoming part owner of Kraus? Because I imagine that wasn't on the table originally. Like,
No.
hey, just come own the company with us. Like that.
No.
Like,
That wasn't offered
you
from
did
the jump.
that. You
Yeah.
know? So run us
I
through
would.
that.
I would say just over the 2 years that I was working with them, I expanded the business a lot. You know, I took different avenues of marketing. Jeff's way of marketing is amazing. It's everything that I've learned is from him. And I just took that the extra mile. You know, he taught me A to B, and I went from B to Z.
Nice.
Not that little is all. He taught me, but you know, I didn't want to stop at a letter and not the
No harm,
rest.
Jeff. No harm. No harm.
No harm.
He's not gonna watch this. Only Corey will.
And I just got involved in like different kind of networking meetings, plumbing associations, all the after hour work that I've put in to just grow us and get our name out there. I quite literally ran from tip to tip of the state, like trying to get my name in every person's, you know, mind.
Now you
and
guys
staying on top of it too.
Mainly that
Building
Somerset,
connections.
Bridgewater, like that area in Jersey, Central, Northern-ish. You were the first one to expand further south, right?
Correct. Yeah. So our shop is in Whippany, New Jersey. And when I came along. The talks of South Jersey were not involved until like about a year ago. Until I was like, the beach, there's so much potential. I would market a little bit top of
So it
Monmouth
was your
County.
idea to move south.
Correct.
Bring
Yeah.
everybody down.
Yeah. Tony, my other business partner, he always says that like he always wanted to go south, but it's like, perfect. You found me. So
now you got some push behind it, Tony.
right. And I would go to like Hazlitt area to market to people, and to build connections down there. Built great relationships with plumbers in that area, Middletown, GPS, and the Fergusons down there. They're amazing. That's like supply houses where I meet a lot of like their customers, which is plumbers, and HVAC technicians.
That makes sense.
Marketing in that area was good. And I was like, wow, like I don't want to go all the way to Tom's River, Forked River, because our shop is 2 hours up north. Like that's not really emergency service response time.
Yeah, and that 287 drive is not fun at all.
Logistically, I can't be there in an hour.
Yeah,
like my team will be here in 3 hours.
Yeah.
Which
then hurts the call and the business. And
so it's more of like, okay, Jade, we'll give you the reins to go down there. I got like a part-time rental down here because again, still need to be councilwoman in Manville, so I still live up there, but also live down at the shore as well. And
2 phones, 2 houses, all right?
2 phones, 2 houses. I was like, no problem. Right before Memorial Day weekend last year,
2
I was like,
cars.
I'll move down here. I'll, pound pavement all summer long. And they said once we get to a certain point of bringing in enough business, we'll open up the shop, your shop. And we finally got to that point. So
when was that officially?
Officially, we officially got the shop, I believe, in like December time.
Yeah.
And it's finally ready for us. The furniture's built. We just have to build out a few offices, kind of like you guys did here, and we'll be up and running from there in the next like 2 weeks.
Well,
so
I got painters, I got this, I got that. So you let me know whoever you need.
Yeah.
I want to come see it. Where is it?
It's in Windsor, New Jersey, Hightstown, New Jersey. It's in the Windsor Industrial Park.
Nice.
Yeah,
I know exactly where that is.
It's like about 3,500 square feet. It's our secondary location, but it really helps because we also service PA as well. So going into Allentown, that's like a 45-minute shot from this location, and then to Tom's River, it's a 45-minute shot. So it's a lot better logistically.
Much more centralized.
To dispatch teams out of there instead of everybody just running from Whippany.
How much in PA do you guys do?
We do a good amount of work in PA. We have a few accounts there that call on us and trust us as their restoration source. I would say not so much like King of Prussia, PA, just yet.
Yeah.
Just yet.
We're getting out there, don't worry.
We're getting there. But like Allentown, like Levittown area, Bucks County, and then also like Easton.
I can imagine Bucks
Bethlehem.
County, definitely. Well, I mean, you're along the river there, so there's a lot of water potential opportunities.
Yes, yeah. Although flooding is never covered under the insurance unless they have flood insurance. So the key is to know anything that comes in from the outside is not going to be covered, typically.
Interesting.
Typically.
Okay.
Yeah. So if it goes through the window, it's not going to be covered. But if it's coming from a pipe that's inside your house, it's covered. So
got it. Okay.
That's why.
Then with the flashing example, that's because of a storm or something, and something that you didn't cause, not neglect, essentially. That
correct. Yeah.
Created a
neglect
problem.
would be like my roof is 55 years old and there's holes everywhere. That's neglect.
Because you didn't fix it.
Yeah, we had a bad windstorm this weekend, and now all of a sudden I have rain pouring through my bedroom ceiling.
Insurance claim. Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean,
sudden and accidental are the 2 key words.
Sudden and accidental.
Yep.
Huh. I'm just thinking
needs to be sudden. If it's long term, they're not going to bat an eye at it.
That makes sense. I mean, it's kind of like when you go to the doctor. If you come in with a pre-existing condition, they're like, "Yeah, screw you. Insurance isn't going to pay anything."
I mean, I don't know. Maybe
it happened to me. So I have 2 dogs. You know this, and I switched insurances for them. And my one dog, he has, I don't know what it is, but he has seizures occasionally.
Oh, sorry,
and
poor baby.
Thank you. He got on medication, and we controlled them. Knock on wood, he hasn't had a seizure in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But when we switched to the new company, they now don't cover his medication because it was a pre-existing condition.
Oh, and are they trying to put it on the old policy?
They're saying before you switched to us, he had this condition, so now we're not going to cover it because
that's like being a human and having a medical condition that you switch insurances and they're not going to cover it because it was previously covered by someone else.
Baffling, and
that makes no sense.
Yeah, I was quite frustrated. So
I'm sorry.
Insurance isn't my friend, but
right.
They're your friends, so I understand.
They are. We try to stay friendly, and just to go back to State Farm, I love you, State Farm. At the end of the day, sometimes
still send us business. Don't worry, State Farm.
They don't send us business, but I do a lot of business with them, and they have some of their adjusters are one of my faves. But it just depends on who you get, and like again, the slab digs. Because it's like, how do I tell a customer that we're going to do a $10,000 slab dig and we don't know if this is going to be covered until you open it? Because you don't. They call it the money shot, State Farm, of like taking a picture of where the pipe is in the ground and putting a tape measure to show if it's 12 inches or below, and then they'll cover it.
Wow. So if it's if it's 13 inches, they'll cover
like
it.
if this is the slab and we open it up and the pipe is like here, it's not going to be covered. But if it's like right up against it, it's covered.
Wow. How come? Do you know?
I have no idea. Because I guess maybe they're thinking that that's not a part of the house anymore at that point. It's below the foundation. I don't know their reasoning.
Yeah,
I mean, that makes
worries.
the most sense to me. But yeah, it's mind-boggling that they could even insure slab homes.
It's yeah, that's like we said earlier. It's just a workaround for them, and it's unfortunate that they don't. And the homeowner, when they sign up for a policy with them,
they don't know.
They're not going to know. They're not going to be told.
Yeah, imagine if you were signing up for State Farm and you were told that, you'd been like, wait, but I have a slab home, so I'm not going to go with you then.
Exactly.
It's definitely not disclosed. I mean, maybe, but in the fine print, I don't think
on the last page of their website, nobody looks at.
Right. But other than that, I have State Farm for my car insurance, and they took care of it.
Yeah, I've used them before. That's why it's just interesting to learn like the ins and outs and like the things you don't know until you know or find out that you needed to know, and then it's too late.
And we always disclose to our customers, we're not the insurance. We're just very educated in it. So, like, I can't guarantee you that this is going to be covered because there could be some weird exclusion in your policy that I've never seen before.
And it's not my
job. And then
job.
I'm the bad guy because I just promised you that, this $25,000 job is covered.
So you have to be very careful with the language you use when you talk to customers.
Oh, yeah. You have to be very careful.
Because they definitely lean on every word you say.
And everybody in this industry it's like a running joke that we all need to wear, like, body cameras, like the police, because sometimes, I
didn't say that. No, yes, you did.
You told me that this is, and I'm like, I didn't.
I did.
I didn't. Like, I would never say that because
I've been doing this for a while. I'm like, I know not to say that.
That's never going to come out of my mouth, but I guess you heard it, so it's true.
There's a mantra above my toilet that says never say.
I guess it's true, and we're going to take care of it. Because at the end of the day, the customer's always right.
That is true.
So.
That is true. That's got to be difficult, though. But All right, Jade. So my next question for you then, I would say, and I told you I wasn't going to do this interview style, so I won't. But really, for you, I understand restoration because you've experienced it in your life. That's what brought you to like, hey, I know people need this and I want to help people. Mm-hmm. What, aside from obviously like, hey, I need to build a team in order to make this happen down here, where did you get the drive to say, hey, there are other women who don't know this industry but will succeed in it, and I want to build a ladies-based team to showcase that, because quite frankly, that's what you're doing, and I think that it's amazing. I'll let you explain, but I really like the fact and the angle of what you're building your team on, because your referral source most of the time communicates it's a male industry, plumbing, restoration. It's a male dominated industry.
Oh, absolutely.
So I feel like I might be answering your question for you, but you're making a ripple in the industry, obviously, by bringing a new brand to a new area, but then also to reimagine the way that the industry works. So what made you go that direction, if you will?
I guess what made me go that direction is just seeing, I was the first woman that Kraus hired.
Oh, really?
To work for them as a project manager. So, and just the success rate that I had with not only like who I am and like what I did running around with my hair on fire. I'm sure if a guy did that, it would pretty much be the same.
Yeah.
But it just turned out that I was a female and I absolutely killed it for them. So I think that pushed us to be like, maybe having women as our marketer, like as our marketers might work out for us in this industry that's male dominated.
Yeah.
Not like that it's a sexist thing, but
of course not,
the marketing that we do is intense. It's hard. And going up to a plumber's truck at 7 a.m. when he's enjoying his coffee and his bagel and like knocking on his window to introduce yourself might come off better coming from a female than it would like a guy that's his age. Like
listen,
he's going to be
no,
like, buddy,
there's no
kick
secret.
it,
Sex sells that. There's the whole male, female dominate like that.
It's easier to approach the targeted people that we're going after. And even if I'm approaching a woman in the office, she might feel more comfortable, like a CSR rep like feeling more comfortable having a conversation with us. It's more relatable.
Yeah.
Real estate agents that are females might feel more comfortable talking to us. And then also on the other side of things, because my project managers are also my marketers. So like me, I know the plumber, I'm going to his customer's house. Like and it's more of like a to Z, like it's more intimate process that way. We're not subbing it out to somebody else from our company.
You meet me on day one and I hold your hand on the day when
the entire process.
Yep.
And in-house sales, like helping customers majority of the time, if we're going into an older person's house or even just like a woman that's home, her husband's at work, she feels more comfortable talking to a woman than if a guy was walking around her house inspecting. It's smart. And that's not all the time, but I'm just saying that's where like our mindset was when it comes to just like comfortability from all angles.
I think it was brilliant. It's very smart because like,
and also just to prove that like women can do it too. Like tomorrow, me and Chloe, we're going to be down in that crawl space with that a rapid raccoon ripped apart lay flat.
Tell that story. I'm excited about that. That was cool. You were just telling us before we started.
Yeah, I got a new call from a new account, a new plumber that we've been trying to build a connection with. They're giving us a shot. A company went out there, looked at the job, and didn't communicate back to their plumber referral source that they're not taking that job. They don't want any part of it, and we were given the opportunity to show them what we're made of. So we're excited to get out there. It sounds like a raccoon probably ripped apart this lay flat duct in this crawl space, and because of that, the ductwork wasn't doing what it was supposed to do because it was ripped to shreds. So their mold grew in the crawl space. So not only is it a hazard for the plumber to go down there and work, we're going to go down there and take a look at it first. Yeah. In the raw. So I hope this raccoon is not home.
Not home. There's no babies down there.
I hope he's not home because it's just going to be me and Chloe down there. And then if he is, then animal control obviously will come in.
Yeah.
But yeah, flashlights, hat. We're going to be fully suited up, goggles, gloves, respirator. Go down there.
Pictures.
Yeah, we will get some cute. Yeah, for our social media, we'll get some photos of us down there. But at the end of the day, like, me and Chloe doing that, I feel like is impressive. Like,
absolutely.
It's not to like toot my own horn, but we go into sewage filled crawl spaces, we go into sewage filled basements, mold everywhere riddled through these homes, asbestos, and that's not something you typically see a female doing. No. So to be able to go from high heels and a suit and at networking events to getting down and dirty, it's my favorite thing. It's my favorite thing.
Amazing.
And it helps in our marketing too, because we're actually explaining like what we do and what we see and like it's our boots that are on the ground.
We're physically watching, touching, feeling, and understanding what's happening. It's not just coming from a report from a plumber who was there and I read the report. Like
I'm reading the report and then sending it to my project manager who doesn't know the plumbing account. It's a seamless process. Hands on. Yeah.
I appreciate you sharing that, and I love the mindset behind bringing in all ladies, because you are breaking waves and kind of making a difference, especially in this area with the shore towns. And like you mentioned, I mean, there are a large demographic of the older community, if you will, down in this area.
Oh yeah, Brick, Manchester, these 55 and up communities.
Lakewood, everything all around. Yeah. Tom's River going in that direction. So you have a lot of opportunity to be less, I guess you could say, abrasive in service industries. When the plumber comes, the electrician, whoever it is, it's dirty boots, it's grease on his hands. There's that archetype of who the mechanic is that's coming in. So when you show up, I imagine that definitely gives the homeowner a different peace of mind.
I get it all the time. They're like, oh, you guys are going to go down there and look at it? And I'm like, yeah. We're ready.
Your husband wouldn't?
Yeah, don't worry. We got this.
Don't worry. We'll take care of it. He wouldn't kill the spider either. I got that.
My favorite thing is to say, don't worry, we got this. Sit on the couch, have a beer. I say it all the time, and I'm like, it's 9 a.m., Jade. Like, it's 9 a.m.
Have a mimosa.
Yeah. I didn't bring it, but.
That's all right. All right, Jade. So do you have any like closing statements or anything that you want to say before I kind of sign us off here? Because I feel like this was a phenomenal conversation. I just want to know if there's anything that you didn't touch on that you'd like to give a shout out to anybody or anything.
Yeah, well, one, I want to give a shout out to our new shirts, Brightside. They're amazing in Point Pleasant, Bridget and Mike.
Shout out Brightside. Yes. We know it was all you, Mike. Don't worry, Bridget.
We love you both. They came out amazing, so always appreciate that. And just to give us a shot. At the end of the day, we love what we do, and we're always here to help people. So if you ever need me, you give me a call. I can shout out my number, 908.
Yeah. Give them all the info, like where to find you, Instagram, the whole thing.
Yeah. Instagram is just Kraus Restoration, and my phone number is 908-304-1111. Easy to remember.
Got that angel number in there.
Yes, an angel number. And yeah, like I said, just an opportunity is all what we're always looking for, to help people and to show them what we're made of. So.
Hell yeah. In honor of John, usually he would have hit that probably like 12 more times throughout here. Right. I don't have a closing like John does, but I just want to say thank you all so much for tuning in today. Me and Jade have been talking for probably 6 or 7 months now. So really excited to get her in here on the podcast and to give you guys some knowledge in restoration. And if you're in Jersey or PA at all, definitely give her a call. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Don't stress. We'll clean your mess.
I love that. That deserves it. All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
Thank you for watching The Breaking Barrier Show. Tune in on all podcast and streaming platforms.